Welcome into Fox 5's Like It or Not tonight. Mental toughness expert Eric Rittmeyer joining us. Glad to have you with us as always. Showing off the gun.
Love this crew.
Love it. You're about to bust out of your blazer over here.
I pulled a hammy on that one.
And we've got WPGC Guy Lambert.
I'm just going to wave. No muscles for me.
No muscles for you? Oh, come on. What about you, Poet?
I'm just going to show all of this.
There you go. Well, you should have heard the conversations we were having beforehand, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's got to do some twirls around here.
Yes, I do.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get it fired up. Well, a restaurant outside of Austin, Texas, implementing a new tipping policy for its employees. That policy was shared on Twitter, and reaction has not been great. The memo reads, tips are a privilege. They must be earned. It went on to list the reasons someone could be denied tips, including being late or getting written up during a shift. The owners of the restaurant say they have since changed their policy since this tweet went viral. But, Guy, let's start with you here. What do you make of this idea that tips are a privilege?
What are they taking a page out of Star Wars, the Galactic Empire? Who's their CEO, Darth Vader? Come on, guys. This is just downright ridiculous, in my opinion. I think tips, they are a privilege. It's something that's earned. And this whole pooling thing of putting all tips together, I mean, I don't really like that because it simply says, hey, if, let's say, Jeff does a better job than Darren, well, Jeff should get the money that he deserves. And so I think you should look at that. Then for them to come back and say, you know what, guys, we're going to change our policy this day, and then we're going to change it back. Make up your mind. You own a business, and you're putting the little guy and the little girl in a bad position.
Yeah, for you, Poet, what do you think? I mean, I used to be a bartender, so this kind of makes me frustrated a little bit. You have a great point that, you know, when you pool all these tips together, there are some people who work a little harder than others out there.
I bartended my first 2 years in radio, so I'm looking at this, and all I heard and saw was greed. Greed. Why would you... If I'm late to work, the way traffic be trafficking, if I get written up for what, for who, and it just shows exactly why people who do service are fighting so hard for full monies and monies, because they're businesses like this that are finding ways to nickel and dime them. I don't understand this idea of corporations that are making hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of trillions that want to nickel and dime the person that shows up and shows out every day for you to enjoy vacations that it takes me 2 years to save up for.
Yeah.
So
you're doing the work, yeah.
Don't like it.
For those big corporations. What do you think if you saw this tipping policy laid out at a restaurant and you saw that? I mean, would you be going back afterwards, or would you be heading out the door, not interested?
This just irks me internally, right? The pooling part, I'm kind of okay with. You agree to that in advance. You know what you're getting into. So if you don't want to, you don't have to. I get that. But the thought of this restaurant to say you go work, you get your tips, so you've earned those tips, and then to say, oh yeah, next week when we're supposed to pay you out, you're not getting them because you were late. Not down with that. Like, that's BS. Like, you straight up earn the tip. You should get it. The pooling thing, again, you know what you're getting yourself into. If you don't like it, I prefer for just me to get my own tips so I can work it out. But if it's a pooling thing, that's fine. To take it away from them, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, but also what's interesting is, like, who determines what, you know, what is earned and what is the privilege of all of this? So,
what did we learn? Tipping cash.
Yeah.
They can't take my cash.
That's a good point. There you go. All right, well, moving on, a lot of electric car owners are sharing the same complaint. The tech inside of the car might be getting a little too fancy these days. Basic functions like air conditioning, music, GPS, all folded into the infotainment system. You know what we're talking about here, right? So they're not as easily accessible as they were in the cars these people used to own prior. So, Eric, we'll start with you here. For these new cars, I mean, is there such a thing as maybe we're getting too fancy here, too high-tech? What do you think?
Look, I'm a straight old head, right? I'm 49 years old. For real, I'm all about to go flip-floam and T9 trying to text somebody. This is a bit much for me, right? I don't know how to turn the radio on. I can't do my phone. My kid's like, you don't understand this. And the thing for me is, like, at some point, that stuff's going to break. You know what I mean? For real. So it's like, I would rather have, like, little knobs and stuff and, like, an 8-track, so at least it breaks, I can fix it. One of these things goes south, you're on the side of the road. You're, like, looking for your tips, right? Like, what's up with that?
Right.
It's too much for me.
He said an 8-track.
You know, I'm showing my age, girl. It's what I do. With the matches underneath, like, you got to, like, push it in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious. But I will tell you, though, so many times, like, I've been trying to find something on one of those fancy cars that I rented, because my car's not like this, I'll tell you that much. And you have to, like, try to search throughout the infotainment system, and it's so hard to find, Poet. I can't do it. I just give up.
We're calling it an infotainment system.
I know.
That tells you all you need to know. I love tech, but I do agree that some things could be simplified, and I don't need to go through 8. First of all, I'm driving. I don't have time to dial a whole phone number just to get to my favorite radio station, WPGC 95.5.
You tell me.
Shameless plug right there. That's okay. We love it.
But you know what I mean? Like, it has gotten really complicated. I just want symbols and buttons, and I do want the option that should the computer crash, then what am I doing? So I love that point, too. I never thought of that. I got a fancy car.
What do you think, guys?
It's hard to believe that there was a period in time in which I could change the oil in my own car when I was a kid. Now, I wouldn't even know where to go, believe it or not. Yeah, I did that, believe it.
We're all like, wow, guys.
Changes oil.
To Poet's point, we like simplicity. And I mean, we live in a society, that's all we really want to deal with. And so, hence that term, easy as 1, 2, 3. But if I have to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 just to turn on the AC, it's not really making a lot of sense. And so I think if they just really focus on being simple, we want to do things immediate. And if you allow that to happen, then a lot of folks are going to be a lot happier.
Yeah, there's something to be said. I mean, it's nice to have all of those options when you need them for certain things. You know, you can do Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff. But some of those key buttons that you need, like the air conditioning, when you're having to search all over the place just to figure out and turn the fan on.
I smell a setup. They're about to start selling you a package where you talk to your car, and it's going to be like an extra something $100. Watch what happens.
You figured them out.
I don't want to push the buttons. Well, great. We have this package deal for you. And the car will do it for you. It drives you around.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
We'll invest in that off camera.
Right, I know. We need to patent this idea before somebody else picks it up.
I'm just trying to change some oil with Guy. For real.
Maybe you should teach him how to re-oil or re-change the oil in his
he
car.
don't want me to teach him anything as relate to a car. We both be like without arms, without legs. He try to
So I got to teach both of y'all how to change your oil, check your tires, and change your tires.
Could you
My father was a master mechanic, and when I got my first car, he was like, so you're never on the side of the road? You're going to learn how to do all of this. Now, he also raised a lady, so I will stand to the side and let Guy Lambert do it, guide him through it. But I can't.
Anywhere.
That's a whole segment.
I can see you on the side of the road cheering Guy on and being like, you're doing great, Guy. You're doing great. Keep going.
Look at you.
Hercules.
Like he's sitting there looking at the tire. I do what with this?
Oh, man, that's like a reality show in itself right there.
We love you, Guy.
We love you, Guy.
I just like the Hercules comment personally.
No, there you go. Okay, moving on. Tinder has revealed the top emojis used by single people in their dating profiles. Topping the list, the face with tears of joy right there. That's followed by the person shrugging, the winky face, the ghost, and the eyes emoji. So, Poe, we'll start with you here. Any surprises here for you on this list?
The ghost, but all the other ones are all me. First of all, those are not tears of joy. It's tears of sorrow, which is filling the dating pool with all the other things and floating in it. The shrug is my answer for everything.
That was the best thing I've ever heard.
The shrug is the answer for everything. You coming tonight? I don't know. Did you like that guy? I don't know. You coming to work on time? I don't know. Yeah, I'm so happy they picked all my favorites. But the ghost one?
What about the winky face? How are we using that?
I don't really do that. I do the eyes, but it's more like a say what?
Yeah.
Like when there's gossip in the group text.
Yeah.
Girls, guess what I just saw? Eyeball, eyeball. What?
Yeah.
We want to see it too.
Yeah,
but I'm not on Tinder. It didn't work for me. Maybe I was too tender. For Tinder.
That is profound. I can't unhear what she said about the dating pool. I don't know how I feel about this. Between that and Guy changing oil, I don't know how I feel about this.
And this purr. Wow.
I tell you what.
That was impressive.
I love being on Hair with Her. I feel like there's lots of other ones that are missing that are probably not appropriate for evening television, right? There's lots of other ones I think that get used. Poet knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I guess everybody kind of does the smiley stuff. I love a good emoji. I think they're pretty cool. And there's lots of new ones now, too. So you can get pretty creative with them. I do the car with the swoosh behind it. So if it's like if I'm running later, I'm coming. I got the car with a little swoosh behind it. I'll sit when I'm like running. They're like, dude, you like farted or something. I didn't fart. I'm running fast. That's what I do. I mean, come on.
If you sent that to me, I'd probably be like,
Thought you were
You
farting.
definitely would. I'd be like, I fell up the steps. That's what I did. I'm sorry. I can't say
y'all see this
Inside
scrape right here? Yeah, I fell up
Sorry.
the steps or something.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I like the flame emoji. I think that's the only one that's missing. You know, so many times something is happening, you're like, oh my God, it's so cool. You put the flame or the emoji with the glasses. I use that one, the sunglasses.
Sunglasses, yes.
But to Poet's point, I think my favorite is probably the eyes because you know where you're going or who's there, or my favorite, as Poet said, what's the juicy tea? Let me know that gossip. You know, then you do 2 eyes, you know, boom, or 4 all together. You know.
I like the monkey that has his eyes covered like this.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh my goodness.
One with one finger like like this. Like that.
Yeah.
They need to make one of those emojis, don't they? What the fire emoji is? Maybe I've been using that wrong. You said it was for what?
It's having a great time. It's lit. It's it's cool.
It's hot outside and I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, you look fire. Like,
Well, you
look
can use it
good.
for that
Okay,
too.
yeah. All right. Well, who knew?
You're in the know.
Okay, there you go.
The emoji
Stay
know.
ahead.